What's up guys, Cliff with the Sunday Drive, and today we're going to be showing you how much power a 6.2 liter intake manifold and intake adds to your 5.3 Silverado. So welcome back to the channel guys. Way too long ago, we showed you how to install a 6.2 intake manifold, a 6.2 throttle body, as well as an air raid intake on my 2014 Silverado with the L83 5.3 liter. And we promised you guys dyno results. Well, today, and sometime next week, we're gonna be coming at you with those dyno results. The first one, we're gonna focus on the intake manifold and throttle body. And in the second video, we're gonna show you how much power the air intake adds or doesn't. You'll have to wait to see. Now, for those of you that don't know, we deleted the active fuel management from my truck. We installed a stage 1 cam from GPI as well as their ported head kit, and no more collapsing lifters to hopefully make this motor as bulletproof as we can. We do want to come at you with a video that shows how much power just the stage 1 cam added to the system. However, we haven't been able to finish finalizing the tune, unfortunately. So all we were able to do in this video series was see how much power we were making currently, and then add the 6.2 intake manifold throttle body, see how much power that added, and then add the air intake and see how much power that added on top of that. Unfortunately, the shop we were working with to tune the truck closed down. They had a dyno, so this video took way longer to come out than we planned. But we were able to use the Keys Motorsports dyno for about a week before it was packed up to be shipped out. It's over in boxes over here before it was being shipped out. So we're like, quick, let's get on there. Let's do some dyno numbers and see what the intake manifold and air intake add to the truck, even though we won't know exactly how much power we added just from the cam. So that cam video will be coming out in the future once we work on refining the tune a little bit more. But for now, let's show you how much power the intake manifold and air intake added to this truck. All right, so enough talking, let's get into the numbers. So as you can see on this dyno graph, we have our stock numbers at around 365 foot-pounds of torque and about 325 horsepower. And again, this tune needs to be refined. You can see that there's a little bit of a blip in the power around 5,500 RPMs. That should be smoothed out so you have a more linear progression of power. But again, this is just a baseline comparison to see how much the intake manifold and throttle body add without any modification to the tune. The drive shaft we added from Driveline Performance held up extremely well. So we got the truck up to 140 miles an hour on these pulls in 4th gear. So it was a 4th gear pull from about 2,500 RPMs all the way up to 6,000 RPMs, and the drive shaft didn't have any issues. So when we bought it, Driveline Performance said it hadn't been speed tested, so they couldn't guarantee it wouldn't break, and this is not a guarantee from us that it couldn't break on you, but probably did about 20 different pulls on the truck, each time the drive shaft getting up to around 140 miles an hour, and we didn't have any issues with it. So far, it's been holding up good to that stress test. We'll keep you guys updated. Now here are the numbers for the 6.2 intake manifold and the 6.2 throttle body. So we went up to 377 foot-pounds of torque and 343 horsepower, so that's about a 12 foot-pound of torque gain, or pound-feet of torque, I always say it backwards, pound-feet of torque gain, and an 18 horsepower increase. Now, I know we only show a single set of data points here, a single pull, but we did do multiple pulls. We didn't save them all, but we do know that these numbers were consistent. When you're doing pulls, you usually want to do 2 or 3 and average those together. We did do more pulls than this, but this was right smack dab in the middle of all the pulls we did. With dyno packs, if you don't know, they tend to overheat unless you have them hooked up to a water source. So we were trying to maximize the pulls we could get done without the dyno overheating. It was very hot in the shop. It was like 128 degrees in here with the engine running and everything. So they kept overheating on us, so we were just working around that. So we didn't save every single run, but we do know that these numbers were consistent. So I was very happy with that. Again, no change to the tune. The truck felt good on those pulls, and I mean, that's wide open throttle and it felt decent. And as you can see, we had pretty good gains. You probably could optimize this a little more and even have a little more horsepower out of it, but with no modifications to the tune, we were able to pick up pretty decent numbers. Now, one thing that was a pain, if you guys go to do this on your truck and try to stick with your stock airbox, it was an absolute pain in the butt to get that stock airbox to fit onto the much larger throttle body of the 6.2 over the 5.3. The 5.3 throttle body actually fit inside of this. I think we have some footage we'll overlay here, but this 5.3 throttle body will fit inside of the 6.2 throttle body. You can get a 5.3 intake to fit on top of it, but it is a lot of work. I recommend having 2 people to get it. If you're gonna do this, definitely recommend getting a 6.2 intake. The intakes are usually identical, like with this air raid setup that we have here, but they have a bigger coupler to go to that upsized throttle body. All right, guys, so that's it. In the next video, we are gonna talk about the 6.2 air raid intake. Again, it's really the same intake, just a slightly different gasket that goes between the tube and the throttle body. But we're gonna talk about the power gains or lack of power gains, you'll have to wait and see in the next video. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you guys for your patience. I know this video has been way too long in coming out, but we were happy to finally get these numbers out there for you guys, and we'll see you back in the next video. As always, parts and tools, no tools in this video, but parts will be down in the description. And we do really appreciate it when you go through our links. It really helps us out a lot. So we'll see you back next time.